Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another wonderful round here at Slipstream Racing. This is the finale round of SUZUKA, and the championship will definitely be decided here tonight. Cody Lawrence leads in P1 over Colin Edwards in P2, and Trent H in third place. But it's not all signed, sealed, and delivered just yet. It could still be anyone's ball game for P2 and P3. Without any further delay, let's take a look at the action on screen before we get to talking about the championship standing. Right now, Jaden Neal is back in throw with a 125.778. Cody Lawrence with a half-second back time, and then Twisted Jack 2.1 off the good. Matt Chagrin 2.2 off the good. Cameron Ketchen, Cody Fowers, Jake Deshawn will round out the drivers that we have here tonight. And we have Pete Rader, Colin Edwards, James Shorter, Sharkey, and Trent H, the champions that are taking to the racetrack this very evening, this very night. And of course, like I said, the championship will be decided now rather than later. Best lap being that 125.778, 126.3, 127.9, 127.9, 128.09, 128.7, 129.5. Those are the 7 drivers that have set laps so far. And we have Pete Rader, James Shorter, Ryan Sharkey, and Colin Edwards not setting laps just yet. And it looks like James Shorter and Ryan Sharkey are both in the pit lane right now. Pete Rader goes up into third place provisionally with a 127.386. Colin Edwards now takes P3 away from Pete Rader with his 127.1. And he is doing his darndest to secure this championship. Looking at the results from COTA, a gold medal was handed out to Cody Lawrence, a silver medal handed out to Colin Edwards, and then a bronze medal to Matt Chagrin. So 26 points, 26, 21, and then 18 points, 15 given out to Trent H. In the championship standings, though, we'll talk about that as quickly as possible, as we still have 11:40 left in the session, and it's going to fly by quick, fast, in a hurry, as the drivers are doing about 90-second laps here. So that'll only give them about 5 more cracks at it if my math is mapping properly. Mr. Lawrence, Mr. Cody Lawrence, may have just secured the championship. My math could be wrong, but 267 points. There is no mathematical improbability in which he will not win, even if he decides to not show up here at SUZUKA tonight, because he leads by 124 points over Colin Edwards. And of course, 25 points being handed out for the race win, 26 points with the extra point being given out for fastest lap of the race. So, mathematically, Cody Lawrence has secured the championship, but Colin Edwards and Trent H's battle for P2 still rages on. Colin Edwards has a 143 point standing to his name, and Trent H with 130. So with that being said, Trent H would have to come out basically in second place, and Colin Edwards would have to come darn near last place for that 13-point gap to be solidified down to 0. Looking at Trent H's points, he's got 130, as I said previously. Pete Rader, 2 points back though, with 2 points separating himself from Trent H right now in third place. Matt Chagrin takes third place, Cameron Ketchen in fourth place, Colin Edwards gets bumped back to fifth place. Things are spicing up here on the leaderboard on the left-hand side of your screen. Things are also spicing up here in the mathematical table for the championship standings. So Raider in fourth place, Moriarty in fifth place, 119 and 128 for Pete Raider. So 2 points separating Raider from Trent H, 13 points separating Edwards from Trent H. It's awfully close in that mid-pack for best of the rest. The battle for P3 is tight, but the battle for P4 is even closer. So Moriarty with 119, 115 for Chevry after a DQ at Mugello and a DNS at PGO. Jaden Neal hasn't shown up for a lot of races, but he's here tonight driving that car, the number 77, around the track as we look at him now. So Valtteri Bottas, 77. Back over to Jake DeShong now as he works his way through Snake. Jaden Neal is here tonight, as I said, but he's only got 66 points to his name. Then we have James Shorter with 58, Twisted Jack with 56, Cody Fowers with 41, Grant Worley with 35, Cameron Ketchum with 31, Ryan Earl, aka Flip, with 21, and Jake DeShong with 9 points to their name. And Ryan Sharkey looks like a newcomer to the grid. And we'll have to see how the Shark Man does out here amongst the Sharks of Jaden Neal and Cody Lawrence, driving their hearts out right now. Jake DeSong getting to the line. Does he find any improvement? A 129.408 will be all she wrote, with 7 minutes and 13 seconds remaining in this qualifying session. It might not be enough. Colin Edwards now finds himself into third place with a 126.583. Best the lap time of Matt Chevry by a couple of tenths. Matt Chevry's 127.005 will be his last and his best qualifying time. And a whole heap of time to be gained. 4 tenths back right now is Chevry. And Chevry down pit road he goes. He's going to have to come out sooner rather than later. Will he actually come out of pit lane? He is coming out of pit lane, so he's going to give another crack to it after Cody Fowers gets past him. And he's got the fast man of Cody Lawrence here right behind him. Fastest lap for Cody Lawrence, fastest lap for Jaden Neal, getting set on the previous lap. 125.6 to a 125.0 for Cody Lawrence. Pete Raider sets his personal best of the session of 126.995. Lots of personal best times trickling in. Only 5 minutes remaining in this qualifying session. What can Cody Fowers produce here when he gets to the line? Will it be any improvement? Not on this occasion, it looks like. last lap for Cody Fowler being a 1:29.0. His fast being a 28.7. So he's got the pace out beneath him. You just got to put it all together now. Tiptoeing his way around the hairpin corner. And seemingly pulling off the track to regenerate some of that energy in the MGUK. Pulling out of the way to let another driver by, presumably. Uh-oh. What's wrong with Cody Fowers' car? Pulls back onto the racetrack. He's going to have to get that debris off of his tires before he gives it the beans. Decides to do it anyways. Lights up that rear end, and that's one way to generate heat in the tires, Cody. Will he stay out on this set of tires, or will he have to come in now? I'm not quite sure. Let's keep an eye on Cody Fowers to see what his decision will have to be. He would have already been down pit road right about now, and there it is. Cody Fowers coming down pit lane. Mr. Cody Lawrence gets to the line of 1:26.0. His best lap, but his last lap being 1:53.1. So obviously this will be his flyer. Let's see if we can go on board with Mr. Cody. How he's navigating coming through Degner 1. Degner 2, full send there through the Degners, and then deep into the braking zone coming out of Degner 2. Now headed towards the hairpin. Again, another deep braking zone, dropping it all the way down to the third gear. Careful to get on throttle so you don't light up the rear end and spin yourself around, but flat out coming out through 200R. Quick pump of the brake as you approach Spoon curve, and punching yourself out down the back stretch. Next corner is going to be 130R, and this is going to be mostly flat out as well. Fully flat out, doesn't have to lift a little bit. You hear the car topping out there, he's going so fast. A little undulation going over the curves. Cody Lawrence hugging that wall as much as possible on that last lap that he set. 1:26.2, not going to best himself as he comes down pit lane. And that will conclude his qualifying efforts. Disqualified for teleporting to the pits from the rest of this qualifying session. Jaden Neal coming down pit lane now with just a minute remaining on the clock. Pete Rader out here through the hairpin corner, sitting in fourth place and sitting pretty right now behind Colin Edwards. Interestingly enough, Pete Rader is not even getting up to 8th gear for 130R as he approaches the Casio Triangle. That is very peculiar, as that should technically be the longest stretch that he has to deal with, being in 6th gear through the S's. Powering out through Dunlop into Degner, full send baseball. down into fourth gear. His gearing is definitely a lot different than what we've seen from Cody Lawrence or Jaden Neal so far. And again, we'll stay on board there to make sure I'm not making things up. Cameron Ketchin with a 126.909 at the line. Best Pete Rader's lap time by nearly a tenth. Into fourth place he goes, but as you can see on the Delta bar on Pete Rader's car right now, he was up about 0.3 of a second, down now only about half of a tenth, and now he's up in the 8th gear. .127 for Twisted Jack on this occasion. Goes into 7th place, and this won't be enough for Pete Rader when he gets to the line. That'll be all she wrote. What about Cameron Ketchin? He is done with his qualifying session as well. Same for Twisted Jack, waiting on the teleportations back to pit lane. And the session to conclude before we get to the race grid. Head back over to pit lane. Watch the sights and sounds of Suzuka here. We'll take a quick break and be right back when the grid is set, folks. And the qualifying session has finally concluded, so we will get the drivers onto the race grid in just a few moments. And as we have it, Jaden Neal in P1 driving the number 77. Cody Lawrence in P2, the number 11. Colin Edwards in 3rd place, the number 2. Cameron Ketchin in 4th place, the number 81. Pete Rader in 5th place, the number 55. Some call that fate, others call it a curse. Matt Chevry in 6th place, driving the number 16 Ferrari. Twisted Jack, the number 5 Audi, in 7th position. Cody Fowers, the 44 Mercedes, in 8th place. Jake DeShong, the number 2, in 9th position. James Shorter, the 27, will be starting in 10th position. Mr. Sharkey, the Panther racing car, the 05, will be starting in 12th. And last but not least, the Prism Racing JWI car, the number 84, will be starting in 12th position. That is one nice looking livery. In just a few moments' time, the final race for SSR will be taking place. Waiting for the Christmas tree to become illuminated. The 5 or 6 red lights, depending on which HUD you're using, will be coming on. And when the lights go out, away we shall go. A quick 35-lap race here around Suzuka for this finale event. Will Cody Lawrence finally meet his match with Jaden Neal? We've seen it happen before. May we see it again? Potentially so. Jaden Neal winning at Silverstone in the middle of the championship season, taking a silver medal at Pinwheel and taking a bronze medal at Nürburgring. And the lights are coming on. It'll be Jaden Neal next to Cody Lawrence. Cody has the inside line, starting a little further back though. And the lights are finally becoming illuminated. When they go out, it'll be green, green, green. Away we go. Jaden Neal gets a drive-through for jumping the start of the race. Oh no, and the championship will definitely be decided here tonight, folks. What a move by Cody Lawrence. And Jaden Neal may have gotten the jump on the start, but he is definitely not in the first place as we approach the first set of twisties here at Snake. Jaden Neal 3/10 away from Cody Lawrence. And who is that? None other than Colin Edwards in P3 right now. And someone is off. That'll be Matt Chevry off, coming through what looks like Dunlop corner. Just didn't have the heat generated in those tires and just drove right off into the S's. Hopefully that was not due to contact from anybody. Let's head back over to the racing because Trent H is up into 8th place right now. And he is 4/10 away from James Shorter. The gap is ever loving but coming down as we approach Spoon Curve. Very neat and tidy for the most of the field and most of the drivers. And there it is, a move done by Trent H around James Shorter there as we approach 130R. Trent H is shaking and baking. DRS is finally enabled on this lap. We don't have to wait any longer. Rader and Cameron Ketchen going after, coming in towards turn 1. Pete Rader able to get the move done around Ketchen there. And Matt Chevry gets around Mr. Sharkey. It's a battle of not last place. Jaden Neal 6/10 away from Cody Lawrence. And it looks like Colin Edwards is 9/10 away from Jaden Neal. The gap has opened up to around 1 second on this lap. So Colin Edwards will not get the helping dose of the drag reduction system any longer, but Mr. Jaden Neal and Stake Sauber will be getting it. Ryan Sharkey disqualified for teleporting down pit lane. And that will be all she wrote for Sharkey's inaugural appearance. See an incident pop up there. Hopefully it's nothing too damning for him to, really be complaining about, or something happened to his rig potentially that forced him to teleport to the pits. We all know having that button mapped at the wrong possible place could have been it. We've all been there, done that. Accidentally pushed the wrong button on the steering wheel and got teleported to pits. Ending someone's race. Battle for the mid-pack here. Trying to H, chasing down Twisted Jack and Cameron Ketchen. Making DeShong getting around Shorter in the background. And it looks like that gap is staying pretty tight right now. Shorter is trying to now catch up to DeShong. Doses of that drag reduction system, the rear wing opening up on the cars, and there goes DeShong off there coming out of Degner 2. That'll send him 4 seconds back behind Matt Chevry now. Chevry getting around Cody Fowler side by side as we approach Spoon Curve. And will it be Chevry's one to lose? No, not on this occasion. He makes the move stick there. Cody Fowler's seemingly complicit with that overtake. Jaden Neal serving that drive-through penalty now for jumping the start, I imagine. No, he is not serving the drive-through penalty. He is actually taking a service. And Jaden Neal's going to have to fight his way from the back of the pack back into first place if that's what he wants to do. Oh, no! And Jaden Neal gets teleported back down pit road. Not sure what happened there. Go ahead and catch up with the rest of the action up and down the field. Chevry chasing down James Shorter now on his recovery drive. Taking a look at positions gained and lost, Trent H is up 6, the biggest gainer right now. Pete Rader's up 2, Colin Edwards up 1. Cameron Ketchum lost nothing, gained nothing. James Shorter up 3. Chevry's down 2. Jaden Neal out of the session now. That leaves us with just 10. Chevry able to get around Shorter. And why is everybody in the grandstands looking at the camera? That's a should be looking at the racetrack, folks. Matt Chevry only down 1 position now. He's got a little bit of time between himself and the car in front, though. 6 seconds is the gap that he needs to make up. And it's coming down pretty steadily. It's down to 5.2, just getting through Sector 1. We're going to keep an eye on that, but for now, let's check in with Trent H chasing down Twisted Jack. 7/10 the gap now between 5th and 6th place. Number 5 leading the 84. Go on board with Trent H. As he chases down the McLaren, the number 5 in front. And makes his move to the inside line, and they touch coming in through turn 1. Not sure who was there first, but it didn't end well for either driver. Damage for Trent H. Damage for Twisted Jack. Twisted Jack still trying to recover, coming through Snake now. Now all's quiet on the Western Front. Big gaps up and down the field. Matt Chevry still chopping away at that lap time. Was 5.2 on the previous occasion. Now it's down to 5 seconds. Let's see on the timing tower. Excuse me, on the live timing, what the lap times are looking like. Tread H on the previous lap, 131.7 to a 131.1 for Matt Chevry. So about 0.6 improvement on the previous. A little bit of a wiggle there from Twisted Jack. Understandably, as that rear wing of his has probably got a little bit of damage. And will he come down pit lane to get it repaired? He is. Twisted Jack down pit lane he goes on this occasion. Trent H is 1 second away from Cameron Ketchen. The battle between 4th and 5th is spicing up to be something. Mr. Cody Fowers, though, excuse me, 0.4 away from James Shorter. As we approach what looks like Dunlop curve. Yes, this is Dunlop and headed towards Degner now. The gap steadily decreasing a little bit, and under the braking, looks like Cody Fowers' car is a little bit more complacent, or complicit, I should say, with the high-speed double right-hander that is Degner 1 and 2. And James Shorter not really getting the best of his vehicle. Almost breaching track limits there, Cody. Got to be careful, my friend. Pete Rader lapping a little bit faster than Colin Edwards in front of him. Two battles spicing up on lap 8 right now. Trent H and Cameron Ketchen, Cody Fowers and James Shorter. Looking at the inside line is Cody Fowers, though, coming in towards turn 1. That's a little bit late there on the brakes, and Cody Fowers runs into the back of Shorter. Shorter's off and running yet again. Did Cody Fowers get stranded there? I don't think so, but the damage has been done to both cars. Trent as he chases down Cameron Ketchen. 0.7 the gap right now. But it is dropping steadily. Trent H on the previous lap, 131.4 to 131.8. Ketchen losing out there. Cody Fowers crashed with the environment, and he's got significant damage to that vehicle now. Again, assuming pit stops will repair that damage, he's probably going to come in on this lap. Lap 9 now is where we're at, of 35. Everybody's on the same compound tire except for Jake DeShong and Matt Chevry, both of them on the C3 compound to start the race. Drivers pushing as hard as they can. Gaps come down to around half a second. Trent H trying to find that rhythm that he needs to get around Cameron Ketchen on a spoon curve, headed down towards 130R. Will this be enough of a slipstream effect? I don't think so. really going to need that DRS to drag him down. Behind Cameron Ketchen. He's got to close it up here, coming through the Casio triangle. I don't think it'll be enough. The rear wing opens up for Trent H. 132.1 to a 132.1. Identical laps, basically, between the two drivers. Cameron Ketchen holds on and has the track position, leading Trent H around this Suzuka Japanese 3.6 mile or 5.8 kilometer track. Founded in 1962, been unchanged since 1983. We are racing in Suzuka, Japan. 18 corners total, 8 to the left, 10 to the right, with 131 feet or 40 meters of elevation change. The gap is still sitting and hovering around the half a second mark. Let's not forget, Matt Chevry started this conversation with a 6-second gap to the cars in front, now down to 3.8. Chevry lapping at 131.6 on the previous. Slowly coming down, a little bit of mistake there from the car in front of Ketchen. Trent H takes full advantage of that coming through Snake. Dunlop. This might be Trent H's opportunity to get one done on Cameron Ketchen. Coming out of Spoon and into 130R, but he'll give away DRS before he gets down to the first corner. Time here. Let's see if Trent H can pull out all the stops. He's half a second back already. Coming through the final couple of corners, it's not helping him out, and so is that weaving from Cameron Ketchen there on straightaway. Doesn't get enough, and there's a huge tank slapper from Cameron Ketchen, and he's off into the barriers at turn 1. And man, oh man, the first corner did not serve Cameron Ketchen well. Not sure what happened there, but a little bit of oversteer potentially. Just sent that car around like a rocket ship. Matt Chevry gains the position. He's up into 5th place now. 3.5 seconds behind Trent H. Now that'll be one of the closest battles on the racetrack. Pete Rader, 1.4 away from Colin Edwards. And the battle for 2nd and 3rd place rages on. $131.2 to a $131.7, not going Raiders' way on that previous lap. Opened up by around a half of a second there. And he's not within DRS range just yet. 131.8 to a 131.5. It is going Chevry's way. Battle for 4th and 5th. to go on. 142.4 for Cameron Ketchin after that slip, trip, and fall that he had at the first corner. Being shorter 20 seconds back. Crossing the line here shortly. 133.6 for him, 133.8 for Deschamps. Twisted Jack, 15 seconds back from that battle. Keep an eye on Matt Chevry here. Gap opened up to around 3.2 seconds, and I'm not sure why. It was sitting around 2.8 before we came into Spoon. .32.5 for Trent H, 32.5 for Chevry. Looks like nearly identical lap times between the two drivers, as we're on lap 14 now of 35. Drivers seemingly wanting to split this one down the middle. 18 and 18 will make 36. Are Matt Chevry's C3 compound tires falling off at this point of the race? But will he be able to make it another 4 or so? Deschamps off at the Casio triangle, and he is glued to that barrier, and he is now disqualified for teleporting to the pit. That will be all she wrote, and it looks like Twisted Jack in the number 5 Audi able to get by. As Deschamps down pit road, so that'll be an inherited position there. Cody Fowers down pit lane. We must have missed something that happened to Fowers. I did not see a disqualification pop up for him. Perhaps still repairing that damage. He's been down pit road for 9 minutes at this point in time. Might just be it. Oh, there goes Edwards down pit lane now. No camera shot here of Colin Edwards in his pit stop. Let's see what tire compounds he decides to go out onto. That was a very quick stop for Colin Edwards. Pit lane 22.1 seconds, and he is on the C3 compounds. Can he make it to the end with over 20 laps remaining for him to run? Cameron Ketchin down pit lane. It'll be around 22.2 for him. He is also on the C3 compound. Colin Edwards and Cameron Ketchin both pitting on lap 14. Both of them going onto the C3 compound. Twisted Jack in 7th place, pit 8 laps ago. Remember to get that damage repaired, please. Chevry almost clatters with the wall coming down pit road. And a couple of pit stops now kicking off. Chevry, Trent H, and Raider. I think that should be Raider in the 55 leading the charge. He goes back onto a fresh pair of C2 compound tires. Only 12 seconds back from Colin Edwards now. Oh no! And Pete Rader off into the wall coming out of Dunlop. Trent H goes up into third place. Chevry, Ketchin all go past him. And this is right after Rader's pit stop, completely unideal for him. And an unforced error there. Some ping issues, or is that car just not tracking in a straight line anymore? Big look at Cameron Ketchin as he chases down that Chevry. Chevry pulls out a overcut, but now loses it coming through Snake out of the first corner. Making an excursion driving that lawnmower Ferrari. No Lamborghini makes tractors. I didn't know Ferrari made them as well. Rader now catching up to Chevry on his recovery drive from his spin coming out of Dunlop. And the two Ferraris nose to tail right now. Now that the pit stop cycle has broken free the drivers to take a new set of tires, we're seeing a lot of personal best lap times start to trickle in. Lower fuel loads, better tires. Pete Rader's damage isn't obviously hurting him any. On 28.7 for Cody Lawrence. Has Cody Lawrence pit? Yes, he has. 2 laps since his pit stop. Barely even noticed that taking place. Colin Edwards 7 seconds away from Cody. He is now also on the C3 compound tire. Running in second place is Mr. Colin Edwards driving the number 2 McLaren. 7.2 off the good from Cody Lawrence in P1 right now. Also driving the same C3 compound. And Mr. Trent H in third place. Coming from a long way back. Up 9 positions tonight. Trent H has done a good job of trying to secure that last to first challenge, but last to third, basically. Not a bad running of it. The clean running Trent H has done a good job of protecting his championship title. Back over to Colin Edwards driving that number 2 McLaren. He comes through Dunlop. Lap 20 of 35. This race is flying by right now. Only 15 remaining. Here comes Twisted Jack to the line now. 132.5 will be his previous lap. Not his best running so far. He is still on the C2 compound. Oh, and Mr. Cody updates us in chat that he got beached, and that's why he is no longer driving. Oh no, he teleported back to pit lane, and that's what happened to him. Beautiful shot here of Pete Rader's car as he chases down his Ferrari teammate, the number 16 of Matt Chabris. Let's go on board for a full lap with Pete Rader all the way up into 8th gear as we approach turn 1, the first corner. Full send baseball going in there all the way down to 4th gear by the time you get to the exit, back up through the S's that are snake corner, and up to 5th gear and shifting into 6th before you get to the anti-bank curve. We're back down to 5th to get the car rotated around, punching back up the hill through Dunlop. It's fast, it's furious, it's Suzuka, baby, through Degner, downshift, pumping the brakes there for the car that's driven by Pete Rader. Not sure the brake was necessary, but the downshift may help him a little bit with stability's sake. Down through the old hairpin, down into 2nd gear, and it looks like the blinking light of Matt Chabris' car indicates that he is on regeneration right now. Pete Rader not getting any sort of indication that he is not on a deployment run right now. And through Spooten Corner, he doesn't use all the track that he's bought and paid for, but he's using as much as he's comfortable with, driving these C2 compounds, and down the back stretch we go. Sparks flying out from the car in front as we get through 130R and down into the Casio Triangle. It'll be single file line, and he's closed down to around 0.6 of a gap. That is a lap around Suzuka, and Rader with the fastest lap of his session, a 130.5. mind the barking dog in the background. I apologize. Pete Rader now 1 second away from Matt Chevry. Surprising that the gap has opened up so much over just one lap. Chevry obviously not carrying the damage that Pete Rader incurred from the big clattering he had coming out of Dunlop. And that's probably affecting his times by quite a bit. 130.4 to 130.9, that'll explain it. And no helping of DRS there, coming down the front straight. Third place car of Trent H just getting past James Shorter there. And then it looks like Cameron Ketchum will be the next to catch that car. .6574 Cameron Ketchum on that previous lap. Now Cody Lawrence got past Twisted Jack coming through the hairpin corner. Timing tower, looks like everything is all status quo. Lawrence leads Colin Edwards now. The gap has opened up to 13 seconds. And Trent H in third place, Cameron Ketchum in fourth place, right along with right now. Pete Rader in fifth place, Matt Chevry in sixth place, seventh place, Twisted Jack, James Shorter in eighth place. Lap 25 of 35 about to get underway, and we'll see presumably another cycle of pit stops here shortly. Might see some drivers like Cody Lawrence decide to go onto some soft compounds and try to steal the fastest lap of the race away. He already has the fastest lap of the race at 128.7. Next fastest would be a 129.6. Almost a second faster than the next fastest car on the circuit. There goes Colin Edwards on cue down pit road and spits himself out onto that C3 compound right in front of Trent H. And will Trent be able to do anything with Colin Edwards on the cold tires, or will Edwards light up the rear end and get it done, and away he goes. 0.9 of a second is the gap. That was awfully close coming out of pit lane. Will definitely make it to the end of the race. And that'll be a free pit stop for Cody Lawrence to decide to do it how he pleases. A 35-second gap is definitely enough time between the two drivers. Matt Chevry having an incident somewhere. Back into 6th place. Trying to find out when this happened. Was it on this lap? We'll find out when he gets to the line. But got passed by Pete Rader. .131.4 being his last lap. Let's see if this one shows anything different. .130.4, not sure when the mistake happened. Did he take a pit stop? I wonder. Nope, still the one pit stop to his name. Pit 11 laps ago to go onto the C2 compound. So Matt potentially should make it to the end, forcing Rader to make a pit stop here on the C2 compound would be awfully challenging for him. Colin Edwards sneaks away a purple sector 1 on this lap. Green for sector 2. Let's see what kind of lap time he's able to produce when he gets to the line. Will he snatch away the fastest lap of the race? A 128.8 compared to a 128.752 from Cody Lawrence. Close, but no cigar for Colin Edwards to snatch away the fastest lap of the race, and that free pit stop still going to Cody Lawrence when he's going to be on a lighter fuel load towards the end of this stint. And just 7 laps remaining, folks. SUZUKA has a unique figure 8 design. One of the most distinctive features of SUZUKA is its figure 8 layout, making it one of the very few tracks in the world to have such a design where the track passes over itself at the crossover point. SUZUKA was designed by the Dutchman himself. The circuit was designed by Dutchman John Hugenholz, who also designed the Zandvoort circuit in the Netherlands, the original design of Yas Marina circuit in Abu Dhabi as well. There goes Cody Lawrence's last pit stop of the race. He is on the C4 compound now. And he's only got to make them last a little while to get to the end of the race. And did you know that the circuit is owned by Honda? SUZUKA circuit is owned by the Honda Motor Corporation Limited and operated by Mobility Land Corporation, a subsidiary of Honda. And like Toyota owns the Fuji circuit, as the circuit has naturally had a rivalry with Honda-owned Suzuka, they count all of the major domestic championships as regular visitors. Lap 30 of 35. Let's take a look at the live timing. See how Cody Lawrence is doing. Now that he's got clear air. Purple sector 1 for Cody Lawrence. .843. That'll be the 7th place car of Twisted Jack, 45 seconds behind Matt Chevrolet. Purple Sector 2, 36.229, gets to the line. That lap time will be his best, a 127.597. That will be the fastest lap of the race by 1.3 seconds. Wowza. He's really putting the hurt onto those soft compound tires, but he's making it work for him. He's got a 15-second gap that he could throw away, potentially even taking another pit stop. Cody Lawrence in P1, Colin Edwards in P2, driving the McLaren number 2. Then Trent H in 3rd place, driving the number 84. Cameron Ketchen in 4th place with the number 81 McLaren, the new age McLaren we should call it, as Colin Edwards driving the number 2 old school McLaren. Pete Rader in 5th place, Ferrari number 55, and then Matt Chevrolet just 8/10ths back on this occasion in the number 16, driving in 6th place. Maybe now Matt Chevrolet is going to find himself being a license plate glued all over the rear end of Pete Rader out in front. The lap times are going Chevrolet's way. 130.4 compared to a 131.7 from the car in front of Pete Rader. Crossing over the figure 8 section there right before 130R. Still hovering right now. 1/2 a second and 8/10ths of a second, but it keeps on coming down through Dunlop. This is awfully close between the two Ferrari drivers. We approach Spoon Curve. There it is, a move up the inside line, coming down 130R side by side. Chevry slicks the stamp and sends it on Pete Rader. Oh no, and Chevry gets tapped there by Rader, coming through the Casio triangle and does a pirouette. Pete Rader drives off into the sunset, pulling over just a little bit to allow Chevry to catch back up, presumably, and gives that position back like a gentleman would at turn 1. Little mistake there turned into big issues. Matt Chevry is going to have to take tender care of those tires. These Formula cars have enough torque to tenderize an elephant. Probably overheated them and gained a flat spot or two from that pirouette that he did coming through Casio. Over Rader. That's the 8th place car of James Shorter in the background. Ooh, big wiggle there for Rader coming out of Casio. So quick to get on the throttle, he almost lost the rear end on his own. He's trying to do everything he can to catch back up to Matt in front, driving the number 16. 55, losing out though. 1.4 seconds is the gap now. And this will be the final lap for Cody Lawrence as he crosses the line for the penultimate time. And you can see on the right-hand side of your screen where the track map is, Mr. Cody Lawrence is coming through Snake now. Bobbing and weaving through Snake, up the hill through Dunlop, and now approaching Degner. Sending it like it is not even the last lap, like he's battling for championship leads right now, but he is mathematically secured it. Mr. Cody Lawrence has been insatiable this entire season. Nothing but podiums for himself this entire season so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wins, 2 silver medals, and 1 bronze at Estoril. And he's gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be his 6th fastest lap of the race. Cody Lawrence coming through 130R for the final time of this series of SSR. Season 9 coming to a bitter end now. It's been a pleasure to be your host, but Cody Lawrence is going to be the champion yet again. And that'll be it for Season 9, as Colin Edwards is 20 seconds back. Will cross the line in P2 when he comes through the Casio triangle now. Colin Edwards in P2, and then Trent H will cross the line in P3. He is the 3rd driver to get through the Casio triangle now. Colin Edwards should secure P2 in the championship with his consistent run that he's had over the last 5 races, finishing nothing but on the podium, taking 2nd place in 5 since the Red Bull ring. Trent H should bring it home in 3rd place for the championship standings, just ahead of Pete Rader. Cameron Ketchum brings it home in 4th place, and Matt Chevry will bring it home in 5th place. in the championship, he should leapfrog Sean Moriarty and claim 5th place in the championship as well. Raiders should still hold on to 4th place. That'll do it for us here at SSR, folks. It's been an absolute pleasure to be your host this season 9 of the Slipstream Racing Group. Hope to see more drivers on the grid for season 10. This has been a phenomenal experience and full of excitement. And if you want to get involved with any of the action, reach out to the Discord, Slipstream Racing, and make sure you find yourself getting on track and you yourself can be on camera catching a wheelie or two or spills and thrills caught on stream. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you very much for staying tuned. You guys have been a fantastic group of people to broadcast for. Wouldn't want to be anywhere else on my Monday night other than here with you guys at Slipstream. Thank you so much for all the love and support, from Cody to Matt to all the drivers, for your participation in Season 9. Hope to see you on track next season. Have a wonderful night and make sure you stay safe out there, folks. Bye-bye.